Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Burton Borders. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about our 1-1 draw against the Saints. But before I get into the video, guys, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notifications so that you're notified every time we make a new video.
Welcome to the Burton Borders. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah.
So guys, there you have it, a disappointing 1-1 draw against Southampton. We didn't play great today, and the draw was probably about the fair result. So let's just start with the team selection. And I didn't see the match live today, I watched it a bit later, but when I saw the team, I was kind of disappointed actually, because for me, you don't have... Today was a game for Christensen. I've been critical of Christensen in the past, but in the last few games I thought he's done decent. And Southampton, we know, are a team who like to play the Genga pressing style, and they say they're not going to sort of sit back. They're going to try and press you high up the field, and this is where you need your ball playing centre backs, and Christensen is probably after Thiago Silva, he's probably the best at those quick sharp passes out from the back. Zuma and Rudiger are not as effective. You know, Zuma played a couple of decent passes actually, cross-field passes, but they don't do it often enough. So whenever those two play together, it's just sideward passes, backward passes, and the build-up play is way too slow from the back. So it would have been, as I said, I preferred Christensen in there. And the other thing, Kovacic and Kante don't work as a pair. So I'm hoping that Tuchel has seen that now, that these two just don't work. They don't work together. They both don't hold their positions as a holding midfielder. They're both midfielders who like to roam around the pitch and nick the ball off opposing players. And Kovacic in particular is one who runs with the ball, dribbles around, and sort of in and out. He just likes to drift right, drift left, etc. And Kante is the same as well. So what you get with Jorginho, although I keep saying not the best physically, but what you get is someone who holds his position. And when you've got a midfielder who does like to roam a bit, you do need somebody who's going to sit in there and hold their position. So the reason why a Jorginho works well in a 2 is because he can cover for those in those areas when either a Kova or a Kante go roaming. So I was surprised to see Tammy in there, because he had what looked like a bad injury, but he's came back. But I did say I'd have started him on the bench, and because I don't think he was 100% match fit. So anyway, so that was a team selection from Tuchel, and obviously Mendy was back in as well. And we started off quite good, but it's the same old story, different manager, but the same script. It's just so frustrating watching Chelsea play. We were just, especially first half, it was just pondering, passing backwards, passing to the side. And even when we got to the final third, okay, we did not open them up, we did create a few situations in the first half, but once it gets to the final third, it's just the decision making. We've got no players who can just make the right pass. I'm sounding like a scratch record, because I talk about this every single time when I do a preview. It's just like, the final ball, no one getting into position to receive the passing, the crosses, and Tammy was off the pace, and I heard people saying not create enough chances, but no, he wasn't getting into the right position in the first place. And Alonso was shocking. He was slow. This guy is slow. You can't help yourself if you're not got the pace. But his touch was awful. His crossing was awful. Everything about him today wasn't great. And Reece James, again, I'd love to see him drive sometimes drive to the byline, getting that crossing, rather than just pausing and knocking it sideways. And not only those two, but I just think every time we get into the final third, Werner was another one who was guilty of that. Not looking to when they're crossing the ball. There was a situation. I'm not sure. I think it was the first half. Great move. I think one of our better moves. Werner was in space and he had time to even bring the ball further forward and pick out a pass, but he's rushed the pass in. That's a rush cross to nobody, and it's cleared by the Southampton defence. And I did say in my preview, what is it with these teams? They fall over against teams like Manchester United and others, but when they come to Chelsea, their defensive game is spot on. So they defend. Southampton defended pretty decent today. I'm not sure if it's whether it was them defending well or was that we weren't attacking well. We made it easy for them defensively. I don't know, but they did make some of the black guy in the centre of I can't remember his name. Just in the centre of the three where they played was immense today, mopping up and clearing crosses, etc. So after just huffing and puffing and not failing to blow the house down once again, we get hit on the sucker. How many times do we get hit on the sucker? There's so many times that we do that. Not only this season, but last season, the season before. There's so many games with Chelsea, and what happens is that we are creating, don't do anything, and then the first attack from the opponents, and they score, and that's what happened today with Southampton. Defence, it was like Moses parting the Red Sea. I couldn't believe it was so open. Just one easy ball through by Redmond, and Minamino, good finish. Nice little dummy. He had two of our defenders sitting on their backside, the goalkeeper and then nice little finish by Minamino. But Southampton's only chance of the half, and that was it. So it's just so frustrating. Second half, I thought in the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, we started off really good, and that's the way I like to see us play. Obviously, we brought on Hudson Odoi, and what happened was the passing was faster and sharper, and that's why I said if we'd started like that in the first half, then maybe we'd have scored a couple of goals. But because of the quick, sharp passing, Southampton couldn't get into their shape quick enough, and then we got rewarded with a penalty. Mason Mount won it, and Mason Mount was the one who put it away with a finely struck penalty. And then we kind of, after that, for about 5 minutes, were doing okay, but then we went back to slow passing again, and it was just like nothing. It was just nothing football, really. Callum was guilty of that a couple of times. I was shouting at him for not making the right decision, and to my surprise, not really, because he wasn't playing well. He gets subbed. It get more embarrassing than subbing a sub, and it was a tactical reason. It wasn't because of an injury, and I couldn't blame Tuchel for doing that. A lot of people are saying that he's a bit harsh what he's done, but no, if you're not following instructions, then you're off. I was managing a Sunday League team. That's what I had to do to one of my players as well. I told him he has to play in the middle, and he was drifting to the wide, to the left, leaving us open. Took him off. So that's not harsh. That's just, you do what the manager says, or you get off. He's not a prima donna. He's had a few good games lately, and I've been praising him. But you know what? Even if you're on the bench, you've got to get the same effort as you're on the bench as you're starting. So what it seems like to me is that if he's not starting, he comes off the bench and he doesn't put in the performances that he's meant to be putting in. And if he wants to step up to that next level, then his attitude has to be spot on week in, week out. I was talking on Baggy's chat show a couple of days ago, talking about attitude of players. And you need to be professional all the time, otherwise you're not going to make it to the very top. If you see Mason Mount, the reason why he's getting to the top is because of his attitude. Maybe he's not as talented as some of the other players in the side, like skill-wise or whatever, natural ability. But with him, you know what you're getting with him all the time. He's not going to be dropping levels in performances. He's always going to be that ultimate professional. Not only Callum, because the thing is, he wasn't as, and there was some other players who were dropping poor performances as well. You know, Alonso, how he stayed on for the 90 minutes, I don't know. He was shocking, and he's never been a great player. He's decent sometimes at wing back, but because he scores these clutch goals, these brilliant goals now and again, it masks his performances. And he was one of the reasons why we couldn't create anything at all down that left-hand side. And the mentality has to be better, guys, because we saw it under too many managers now, where we see some good performances, and so under Frank we saw that when we went on our 12-13 game unbeaten streak, and then you have a stinker like this. So I know this team's still young and still growing, so I'll give them a bit of slack from time to time, but you know, we just need to put in those performances all the time. Not because Southampton have been going for a rough patch where we thought we could just come into this game expecting to win. You've got to earn your right to win, and I don't think the players did enough to do that today. Very disappointing, just because other results have gone our way, and we've got matches tomorrow. I think West Ham are playing Tottenham tomorrow, and so we had a chance to have 5 points on Liverpool. At this stage of the season, that'll be quite good. But Southampton were there for the taking. Their injury hit side, and had we played even 20% better than we did today, then we'd have got the victory. I hope these players weren't thinking about the Atletico Madrid match already, because that would just not be very professional. But you know what? We've got them, Atletico. Then we've got a hard march coming up. Just we've got until now. We've got the next 5 or 6 games are difficult, tricky games. So we'll find out more about this bunch of players after we've played our next 5 games and where we probably end up at the end of the season. So, guys, your turn now. What do you think about the performance? What's your comments? Did you agree with the manager subbing Hudson Odoi as well, or do you think it was a bit harsh? Let me know what you think, guys. And don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on post notifications to be notified every time I make a video. Okay, take care, guys.